it. Exactly. Nanas, I could have been Micah. Literally. And I could put the proof on the screen for whoever wants to fucking see it. And that's for anybody watching the FYP thinking I'm full of shit. All you have to do is ask. I'll show it. A lot of us could have. And a lot of people need to understand the compassion we hold for true justice for Micah. Who it can help, along with her family getting justice, Micah getting justice. Maybe it'll make the necessary changes for people who need it, that are still walking the shoes. Then, what? Can you please type the words? Exactly, Kelly. And when you've got an individual that says he is not, the rules don't apply to him, then you're not for true justice for Micah. No. Let the no picture person say what they want to say. I mean, the proof speaks for itself. And whoever wants to defend bad behavior, you're just as bad. It's all good. Who's innocent? Tiger? Who's innocent? The law thinks he's innocent. Or he is. Who? For who? J or JP? Good God. He wasn't a husband. There you go, Sonia. Darling, Tiger, the law has fucked up the whole investigation for Micah. Any dumbass can look at the sheriff's report, can look at the examiner's report, and see all kinds of screw-ups. All kinds. Because what they're trying to say happened is impossible. And people like Jay need to go the fuck home and stay there. And that might be my opinion, but it'll be a very strong opinion for many. Because if you can't be out there for true justice for Micah, your ass don't need to be there. So, you know, the little Tiger account, is that RI? One of JP's minions. I can point out the obvious of where law enforcement screwed up. I like that, Kelly. When the popo screws it up, then the FBI's got to come clean up their mess because they don't do their jobs properly. Because, you know, Robeson County was getting ready for their little TV show and all. They didn't want to be bothered by a pesky old investigation that was made to look a certain way, now were they? Especially with a fisherman that has changed his story a lot and admitted to leaving with evidence. Oh, to go buy a lighter? Well, who was at the store? Who did you meet there? How much money did you make that day for doing that trip? That's my opinion, because that's the way it looks. Period. And then people want to get on this app, get videos from JP, and put them up and say, oh, well, I guess JP wasn't lying. Bullshit. You take a young Micah, who's a go-getter. You want to tell people in interviews, she knows she can speak 2 languages, blah, blah, blah. Still broken, but still learning. Damn. Wow, that proves she's crazy, doesn't it? I don't think so. But it proves the manipulation of JP. Proves it. You're going to laugh at the one you say you love? Why? You don't love her. You never have. Period. And unfortunately, Micah loved him. That's probably a love she'll regret. And what did her true love get her? Manipulated. Somebody that loves somebody, don't make fun of them. Especially put it on social media after she has been unalived, when she can't be here to defend herself. You call that love, darling? Well, I got news for you, it ain't. It ain't love. That's trying to make your story plausible, not Micah's. All he did was make fun of her. Trying to prove she lost her mind. There wasn't nothing wrong with her mind till JP walked in her life. That's what was wrong with her. JP. Bullshit. If he keep her name up, what the hell are you talking about, keep her name up? He's doing everything to try to prove she was nuts. When all JP needs to do is look in the fucking mirror. And I base that on what I seen from JP. You make fun of your wife? Hell, you can watch the interviews and see how many lies he's told. I'm beginning to think that you're our eye. Okay, Ree. You have fun with that thought. And I hope he makes all your dreams come true, darling. Because I would never be that far up JP's ass for no amount of money. If you can't look at it and see how manipulation is added to that, then maybe you need help yourself. Whether you're Ree or not, I don't give two rats fuck. Because I'm a true DV survivor looking for true justice for Micah. Because her name will help so many people. Why in the fuck would I do that? Because see, if I would have called him, which I really don't want to, but kind of do, I'd asked him, how in the fuck do you know all the details of what she did that day? Before they were given to you. And explain why he did what who did. Why he tried to make Micah look crazy so he didn't look like the narcissistic abuser. Oh, damn. You can just watch him and see it. The videos that he took of her, you can see it. Here, I want to make fun of my wife. That's not love. Nowhere near it. It's easy to put that shit out after she's gone, huh? Exactly. Hey, Linda. Micah. She was a smart woman. If he wanted to clean his name and explain to the world she's on the wrong side of exactly. How is he clearing his name? That ain't clearing his name, darling. It's making him look worse. Here, I'll give the videos to somebody to post on the internet to try to make people believe me. First time I saw one of those videos, I wanted to puke at what he was doing to her. The younger Micah, no less. The go-getter. Who wanted to learn. Who wanted to change a lot of people and a lot of things to better. And at the end of the day, it's going to be JP's cross to bear when that time comes. I just hope we're still here to see it. Anybody can look at the facts of this case, and it screams foul play. Screams it. Do you want me to point it out? I'll be happy to. Uh-oh. Let me know, Candy. Thoughts and prayers for Candy's brother. He just had a triple. How can a person that knows how to use a pew-pew unalive themselves and walk 100 feet and wedge themselves? Where's the ballistics report that matches the empty shell casings and the live round to her box, to her pew-pew? Why didn't they investigate where she pinged, which was over 300 foot north of where she was found? That's number one. How can they say the time of death is 2 minutes after the man calls and said they found her? Medical examiner wasn't even there to declare her. So how can they say the cause of death was 2 minutes after the kayaker called and said, "Oh, I found a body"? But during that 911 call, what did that kayaker say? "Well, I just spoke to a sheriff." Then why are you calling 911 then? Not only did Robinson County screw up and not do justice, so did Myrtle Beach, Horry County. What did they do for Micah? What did they do for the trackers? Her tires being flattened. Nothing. They let JP get away with everything he was doing to her. And then shows up when she's having her tire repaired. "I'm going to put naked pictures of you on the internet." And she's saying, "Walk away." "Why are you there?" "Oh, I gave the excuse I'm giving her mail." You're so full of shit. How'd you know she was even there if you wasn't tracking her? Or is that how you knew what she did that day? Because you were tracking her. Right? So you preach 2 sermons like nothing's fucking wrong. And I don't want to hear no grief bullshit, because that's bull. To tell your congregation not to talk about it. "Oh, she's no longer with us, but it was self-inflicted." But to call a friend before you even leave to go see her, to find out any details of her passing? "She went here and then she went there and I thought she was coming to see you." How did you know? Because I really don't think Robinson County had all that information to tell you the night before when they called you and told you that she was no longer among the earth. It's pretty sad when someone can watch a video that JP wanted out to try to make Micah look bad. That ain't love. And that sure as fuck ain't defending yourself, because it makes you look worse. Because you're trying to manipulate everything after the fact. Micah ain't here to defend herself. No, is she? But if you watch that video and actually pay close attention, what do you hear? What do you hear? Still broken, but I'm still learning. What part of that makes her look like she's bipolar schizophrenic? And not only that, I think she was misdiagnosed. Because it can't happen. But see, people want to go by that medical record. Read it all, darling. All of it. "Oh, well, she was diagnosed with that, so JP was right." Bullshit. I am so sick of abusers getting away with bullshit to other people. And that's men and women. Been there, done that, talked it, I can walk it, and I sure as hell got the fucking t-shirt. Argue about what? The lack of investigation of the truth? Or just giving in? Or I feel she was misdiagnosed to where JP was the one that gave all the insight. Because, you know, Micah had that reaction to, you know, anesthesia and stuff, so she wasn't in her right mind at that point. So JP can make it look like however he wanted to, didn't he? And the first time JP ain't around, I don't feel that I am diagnosed properly. She was more sane than JP will ever know. You can look at the videos she made just weeks before she died. There's nothing wrong with her. Other than her wanting to protect friends and family. Because it's her cross to bear, right? Because of what JP was doing. You believe what you want, Tiger, Ree, whoever you are. I don't give two rats' ass. And those who don't believe that I have walked those shoes, I can show you proof. Because I can put it right here where Jay's at. I had it up last night. People need to truly understand what manipulation does. People need to truly understand what manipulation does. And it's kind of easy to put out shit and get your narrative heard by your supporters, but not people that walked it, that lived through it, where Micah didn't. It's all about true justice for Micah. Period. So if JP don't like it, that's not my fucking problem. Then maybe JP needs to keep a hold of his own fucking lies. Which, you know, a liar manipulator never does, and they always fuck up. And he's done that plenty of times. All on video. And whatever depression, anxiety, and everything that Micah had, maybe it was because of the way she was treated. You think? Oh no, it couldn't be because what? He's a pastor? You can't even trust pastors nowadays, darling. Get with the program. I don't care if he has pastor in front of his name. He ain't no pastor I ever want to come across, because that man don't believe in God, a higher power, or anything good other than his own agenda. Now take that back to your buddy. And just like I said in the video, well, he can think again because somebody skipped a beat when he thought the first time. Just saying. Just the way it is. Not everybody is manipulated into believing JP. How can he be closest when she wasn't even living with him? And from what I understand, she was doing a hell of a lot better away from him. And with the videos that I seen that she made while away from him, you know, getting ready to file for that divorce, she made a whole lot of sense. A whole lot. He wasn't close to her. The only reason he was close is because he tracked her. And he admitted it. Why you gotta track her? Oh, she ain't taking her meds. How do you know what she's doing? You're not living with her. So you can take your, oh, I loved her and they didn't. Bullshit. Any DV survivor knows that an abuser will turn the victim away from family and friends. Make him seem like they don't care. And he's the only one that does. Get with the DV program, darling. So with your comments, I'm going to assume you're not a DV survivor. You don't understand the manipulation, the separation from friends and families that a narcissistic abuser does, which he's done on video. They didn't care about her. Friends didn't care about her. And only you did? Aha! Try again. Because, darling, she left him for a reason. And maybe you need to look at that too. Oh, there's plenty. Oh, there's plenty. And just because some of the po-po don't want to do their job properly, doesn't mean it can't be done. And if you're not a DV survivor, then you truly don't understand. A true manipulator. So who you trying to convince with your shit? Me or yourself? Because you're wasting your time up in here because you ain't gonna convince me that JP is any kind of good person. Period. And I don't care who likes it. There you go. 16 and a half years. With someone who had a true mental illness. Because see, one of the videos really hit me close to home that Micah did. When she was talking about marriage and the higher power. About God hates divorce, right? You took a vow, right? She questioned that. Until she knew she was his bride first. And that she didn't have to put up with it. Because in the Bible, it states, you don't abuse your spouse. And it's easy for people to try to side with JP. Because Mike ain't here to defend herself. So I guess that makes you feel better, right? That makes you just as bad as the narcissistic JP. Her cause. I'm defending her and what she stood for. No abuse. None. Because if you truly love somebody, you don't abuse them. So true justice for Micah means a lot. There's many different meanings. Absolutely. Males are survivors too. I've said it many times. How many times have I said men and women? But for the cause I'm talking for tonight, it's true justice for Micah. Because maybe people need to get that clue. That's what it's for. I agree, just a girl. And I could give two rats' ass. And it was for a private message she sent, y'all. See, narcissistic people and manipulators, they love attention. They don't know how to shut up. JP's one of them. And he's told on himself many, many times. All you have to do is watch it. But Micah still has her voice through every video she made. Every song she sang. Every heart she touched. And true justice for Micah? Maybe to bring a lot more justice to other DV survivors and victims. Do you know how many men and women has been unalived by a narcissistic abuser? A lot. Since I've been on this app, I've seen it. Men and women unalived by a partner. Because they wanted to leave. But see, JP couldn't stand Micah leaving, now could he? Why? Why didn't JP leave her the fuck alone? Answer that one. Ree. And don't tell me it was love, because that's bullshit. Why didn't he let it go? He had a girlfriend. What do you need Micah for? Well, maybe he is. Because crazy people do what he did to her. Because any sane person that says they love somebody don't treat people like that. They don't track them and try to create the narrative. Why didn't he let her go and move on and stay with his girlfriend? Make it make sense. And from what I gathered and heard, Susie's husband, may he rest in peace. I have yet to prove it yet, but it has been stated that Chris confronted JP because he was seeing Susie. Like I said, I don't have proof of that yet. So maybe instead of people turning it into a suspicious passing, why don't they think that maybe he was so damn depressed he did it to himself? Because maybe with her seeing JP allegedly made him feel like a failure because he had an accident and in a wheelchair. Hearing the things that I've heard, I truly believe he did it to himself. Because he couldn't stand living with the fact that his woman was sleeping with somebody else. That's what I've heard, Sonia. So people need to stop this suspicious death stuff when it comes to Chris. Let him rest in peace, because the way that looks, manipulation, betrayal, can make anybody unalive themselves. And I think Chris was one of them. All because of the actions of JP and Susie. Any other questions, Ree? And if you are, if you are Ree, you should be disappointed in yourself. Because if you had a restraining order for 3 years, then you should know what manipulation and abuse feels like.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's go.
Make it make sense. And I have yet to see any comments from that person that makes it make sense. No explanation of how to empty rounds, a live round, 100 foot away from, wedged, 300 foot where she pinged, and Johnny the fisherman saying half the shit he said. Wow. No explanations whatsoever, huh? Doesn't scream foul play to you? There's a few blind people on this app. And I can only assume why. No amount of money in the world could ever make me go against true justice for Micah. None. I could be living in a cardboard box and still wouldn't take the fucking money. True justice for Micah. Because see, when you walk it, you understand it, you live with it, you want the true justice. Because see, there's a lot of DV survivors out there that wish this much attention they had then. I was one of them. That's why me and Just a Girl Next Door has done what we could to help people going through it. Maybe with resources, maybe with, hey, pack a bag, turn your phone off, turn this off, get a burner phone, hide this, hide that, grab bag, you know, all the little ins and outs to help people. Because we didn't have it when we went through it. And that's compassion. For free. I don't need all these gifts and hundreds of people coming in here to help. One leads to another, and another, and another, and another. So I don't need 500 people watching. I don't need gifts coming in left and right like all these other creators. Or all the poor baby with no proof. There's all kinds of proof out there for people to see that there was foul play with this case. You don't have to be an investigator or have a plaque on the wall or a degree or anything like that to understand it. And people really need to stop telling other DV survivors, well, you're just too emotionally involved. Yeah. And anyone should do the same what? You're so trivial. Why don't you answer a question? So, do you really think that JP was tracking her Saturday before she passed away? Because in my opinion, I believe he was. Make it make sense? What part of the videos that JP put out shows Micah is out of her mind? I have yet to see one. But to spout out what JP says like it's truth. Wow. Just this stack here, just this stack alone proves foul play.
Okay, that's a good boy. That's
Other people are investigating it, and because other law enforcement didn't want to do their job properly and investigate it,
a good boy.
it don't make him nothing.
That's good.
And you have yet to answer a question. Bree,
That's a good boy.
bring it. Because see, their investigation stated 2 empty shell casings, 1 live round. The pew-pew was found 5 foot in the water. She was 100 foot away from that. Wedged in between a tree and a stump. Make it make sense, Bree. Come on, girl. Make it make sense, and don't tell me that she walked over there and did it herself. After a wound such as that one. Which anybody who's going to really self-unalive is not going to pick that location to do it. That means the target. It's awkward. No. Especially when the fisherman said it sounded muffled. So kind of like where she probably pinged at that park, which was over 300 foot north of where she was found. And why in the hell would anybody want to go into where they just heard somebody crying a gunshot? Stupidity?
When it's
And then grab her shit, put it in his boat, and leave with it to buy a lighter.
let's go, boy.
Where's the ballistics report? Tiger? Where is the ballistics report? Where's the notation of any DNA in that water? And you mean to tell me that the, supposed law enforcement that took her out of the water drug her? That only her hands received little nicks? Only her hands? Well, they drag her across a briar patch with just her hands? Make it make sense, Ree. Come on, girl. Make it make sense. And I've asked what part of the videos that JP has told somebody to put out that makes Micah look bipolar or schizophrenic. I believe so, Candy. And if it is, Ree, you've had a restraining order for 3 years. I've heard it enough on this stupid app. You should know better. You truly should. And just like I said in my video, find out who the fuck I am and call for a FOIA request. I can show you the end of the investigation if you need to see it. Because I'll be damned if any of you people that's maybe watching on the FYP are going to call me a liar. Because, see, I lived with that mental illness. Look up CTE, Ree. Well, Big Red, if she's going to have a fake account with no picture, she's not going to give any indication that she's Ree. She only does it to spy and collect shit to manipulate others to believing her crap. Ain't gonna work here. So the medical examiner states in their report what they are told by law enforcement. 2 empty shell casings. 1 live round. And now somebody will say, oh, that was already there. Oh, it was just so coincidental. Really? Where's the ballistics report to prove it? There ain't one. Where's the ballistics report to say those were her rounds? There ain't one. So just because law enforcement wants to fuck up an investigation doesn't mean he's innocent. Do I think he by hand did it? No. But in my opinion, he had a hand in it. It just wasn't the hand that done it. My opinion. Because see, how much would JP lose with the information that Micah has? With the information that Micah has. So I believe Micah was right. She knew too much. Didn't she? He couldn't leave well enough alone and let her live her life and get a divorce and call it the end of the day. He had to control that narrative too. Didn't he? For what? A fake church? Because that ain't no godly church that I've ever seen. There is no God-fearing nothing in JP. Do you think JP really has any fear of the higher power? Because JP thinks he is the higher power. And you folks that agree with him are giving it to him. You're encouraging it. And out of everything that's been said, in court documents no less, what part of what I said wasn't true? He manipulates. He abuses. And all people want to do is make excuses for his bullshit? When it's plain on video evidence or even the paperwork he even put in. Make it make sense. Which you haven't. I'm just going to call that account Re. Whether it is or not, I don't give a shit. Because some of these creators don't give a shit. They don't. You know how many lives I have been through that I've seen with Re in it. Repeat the same damn garbage. And everybody going, oh, poor Re, I'm sorry you went through that. Yeah, right. Oh, because I heard the recording of Micah apologizing. When you got fear instilled into you, you'll say any damn thing. Been there, done that. Some of these folks need to truly fucking understand shit. And what your actions can reflect. How many people are going through that are victims right now of DV? That actions that you have by taking up for an abuser, what kind of faith does it give them? That anything will change so they can feel safe in their own freaking life? Or any survivor to understand life can go on. That true justice can be served for those narcissistic, abusive jackwagons. Now, where's your compassion for them? You don't answer questions, you want people to answer yours. And maybe you need to understand, you can't answer a damn question I ask. Because there's no true, honest answer to it that you can give. And if it's all you got of Micah saying, oh, I'm sorry. That's all you got, darling? Damn, that's sad. They're scared to show who they are. That's the problem. People that want to take up for JP like to spy. Let them spy. I don't give two rats shit. Because I won't say nothing on here that I wouldn't say to JP's fucking face. Period. Or Jay, for that matter. I don't care about their feelings. What I care is for true justice for Micah. That's what I care about. And every victim and survivor out there, and the ones who didn't. And maybe a lot of these folks that wants to take up for an abuser needs to understand that. Facts. Facts. Videos. JP's own words. I've lived 16 and a half years. I know how manipulation is. I know what it does. And every time I look at JP, wow, that puzzle piece fits so perfect. Especially with the crap he has spilled out of his own mouth. The lies he can't even keep track of. The manipulation that he's putting out by getting people to put these videos out and take up for him. So, was he tracking her that day? Was he tracking her Saturday the 28th? How did he know so many details before all the details was released? Because, see, he had just got notification. Right? They didn't have all the details to give him, did they? You need to look outside that box, darling. You need to look at things the way that they happened. The lack of investigation, ballistic testing, to prove anything. So she bought a pew-pew for protection. And do I believe that was her making the 911 call? No. Do I believe that was AI? Absolutely.
Leave it there.
Make it make sense. I'm waiting. And how come when the examiner examined her at 8 o'clock that night, that rigor was not noted? You know, because after an hour or so, things turn purple. Well, you know what, Sonia? Some of those sermons, if that's what you want to call them, I call them devil worshiping. But anywho, you watch his sermons, and how many sermons did he bash his wife that he supposedly loved? Oh, I went through her phone and found these numbers and they belong to men? What, females can't have male friends now? Damn. And you have yet to make sense of the fact Micah left. Micah was working, living away from an abuser. Why couldn't he let her go? He had to track her. Why? And don't tell me, oh, she wasn't taking her medicine. You didn't live with her. You didn't. So how do you know what she was and was not doing? He was already tracking her. He admitted it. So is that how he got a lot of the details of when she passed? Because he tracked her? How he knew more details about where she went and why before the popo did? Because they hadn't got the footage from the pawn store or the 41 Gas and Grill. So you get notified that evening, you go preach 2 damn sermons like, hey, it's any other fucking day. I didn't lose my wife. To make the announcement after the fact. And then call her friend and say, oh, I thought she was coming to see you after she bought a pew-pew. For protection, by the way. So how'd you know all the details there, JP? Oh, haven't heard the answer to that question yet. Come on now, you ain't got to be a private investigator to see the shit is crooked. That's what I believe, Nana. Well, sometimes being compassionate about something, you get a little loud. Sorry, Candy. And for anybody that has any doubt of me being a DV survivor, I got proof. I'll show it to whoever wants to see it. Sorry, Candy. It wasn't even on the news. God, you have to be Ree. I made up my mind. You're Ree. Number one, they didn't call him till later that night. He got up and preached 2 sermons. What news? Are you really trying to go there? Are you truly trying to go there? Honey, my hair might look blonde, but I ain't that fucking stupid. Just saying. I can check my license for you, make sure I wasn't born yesterday. Make it make sense. I'll wait. No, don't block. Maybe he heard it from the news, felt bad about what happened to her. You're kidding me right now. You're really not making sense. Are ya? So your statement about the news, I'm not saying you are, girl. What the hell's that supposed to mean? No, I'm asking you to make sense of it and you're not. I'm asking you questions, you're not answering, but I'm answering yours. Or making sense or nonsense of yours. How many times have I said make it make sense? You've had all the freedom here because you could have been blocked a fucking hour ago. Make it make sense. See? Manipulation. They're trying to turn it to where I'm against freedom of speech. When the only speech that person wants to make is their own. So when they're asked a question, they don't answer a question. Make it make sense. And you won't. Just saying.
People walking around with blinders on.
So how am I against freedom of speech if you're still commenting what you want? And I'm asking you questions or asking you to make it make sense. Isn't that giving you room for speech? You're just not answering any of them. Are ya? Are you making sense of the fact that JP knew a lot of shit before it was even released? How'd he know so much so soon? With hours Make it make sense. There's your freedom of speech. Let me know. Keep me informed, Candy, please. And I ask you, make sense of that. What did he know? He knew details of her actions Saturday. By what? The last service? That he can call somebody and give details about where she went? I thought she was coming to see you. There wasn't enough details to have had to tell him hours before he preached 2 sermons. And just like I asked before, Micah left, trying to live her life, and JP wouldn't leave her the fuck alone. Make it make sense. And don't tell me it's because he loved her and she wasn't on her medication. How does he know what she was doing? She didn't live with him. So how can he testify to the fact that she wasn't on her medicine? It's her family's fault. Make it make sense. Make it make sense on why ballistic testing wasn't done. Oh, there is no sense to be made of it because it wasn't done.
I wasn't in all about it.
I've seen the text. And I've seen the belittling. I've seen the Micah bashing from JP. Even in his own sermons. Okay, Candy, please keep me up to date, darling. And do you think, Anita, that narcissistic, abusive person that I can see in the videos and his text, that she didn't have fear? Then he wants to post videos to make her look crazy, when all it did was make her look better. She was a go-getter. She was trying to learn languages. I'm still learning. What part of that made her look crazy? And then from what I gather, the day that Micah passed, family members said that they never texted her, but JP did. Why? Why? Nobody's got any answers, but you all got questions. Make it make sense. A DV survivor can make that make no sense. I've walked it. 16 and a half years of it. With someone with a true mental illness. beyond schizophrenic. And I mean beyond schizophrenic. A mental illness so bad, it changes your facial features. I can prove that too. Just like the video I did for Ree. Figure out who the fuck I am and look up January 6, 2020. Between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. And read the report. It's okay, Candy. I wouldn't be here for justice for Micah if that hadn't happened to me. I showed proof last night. It was all over the green screen. You too, Randy. I feel that she was depressed, had anxiety, maybe, you know, some panic attacks or something. If I had to deal with that fucking bullshit, I would too. Do I believe she had bipolar and schizophrenic? No, ma'am, I don't. I believe she was misdiagnosed in the wrong time because it was having a reaction to anesthesia. So instead of them doing the proper testing, and blood work, and with the medication she was taking, that's not a true diagnosis. You don't diagnose somebody, boom, bipolar. That ain't how it works. Period. And I know people can be misdiagnosed with bipolar. Over 30 years ago, I was misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder and was almost unalived because of the doctor. But people don't want to believe that side of things. They want to believe, oh, well, the doctor said it must be true. Who was the one that was standing there manipulating the way that the doctors thought about Micah, because Micah had that reaction and wasn't of a clear mind at that moment? Make it make sense. I walked it. And thank God for the doctor that took over my case. But see, I questioned the doctor because of the stuff he had me on. He didn't like that. So he turned my case over to another. And when I seen that person for the first time and gave her the list of medication I was on, her jaw hit the floor. I had to go inpatient for 3 days to come off of lithium, because it damn near unalived me. And just like Just a Girl Next Door says, doctors practice medicine. They're not perfect in it. But people want to believe a medical, so-called medical documentation. Thank you, Harry. Hey, Miss Holly. Welcome back, Michelle. And yet, nobody has made that made sense. Love you, Candy. Still got my thoughts and prayers, sweetheart. You're welcome, Michelle. Nobody wants to make it make sense. That's what I thought. Absolutely, Candy. A lot of trouble for what? Giving my opinion, my personal observation of police reports examiner's reports? What trouble? What, is he that itchy? He's got to sue everybody? I'm giving my honest opinion, which is called freedom of speech. But yet, you have yet to make it make sense. The law didn't even do a proper investigation. So if I want to say my opinion about police reports, medical examiner's reports, his own voice, his own words, then maybe he should shut his fucking mouth. Don't fuck with a DV survivor. Where's the ballistics report, Anita? That even matches the empty shell casings to her weapon. And how in the hell can she walk 100 damn feet and wedge herself between a tree and a stump? Because there wasn't that much current. She pinged over 300 foot away from where she was found. Why didn't they investigate that area? Where's the notation of any DNA in the water? And why was her only hands had spots on them from the bushes? But nothing else. Make it make sense. What, is she going to take a practice round? Rechamber a pew-pew she already knows how to use? Because if she really wanted to do what they try to portray she did, it only takes one. And I have yet to see a self-unaliving with a pew-pew there, because it's way out here. You know, that's just my finger. That's not even holding a pew-pew. Somebody that's that determined is not going to pick that location, number one. They're not going to drop the pew-pew and walk 100 feet after that kind of wound. Face down, wedged. Nope. Just because she bought one for protection, and just because, as I believe, an AI call, because she couldn't have called from that location, because you know how many people that live there, even Johnny the fisherman said there's no signal. How can you make a phone call? Make it make sense. Did Robeson County ever look into any other police reports from where she was from and see any of it? No. Did they do a full investigation? No. Here's a couple of receipts, but they found her car before they found her. She never gave her name on the 911 call, alleged AI call. And which phone number did she give? The phone that JP had, or her new one? Just saying. And with the videos that she made weeks before she died, that was not a woman who wanted to unalive herself. But she also said, it's my cross to bear. There was a lot said on that video, if you listen. There's been a lot said by JP himself, if you listen. There's a lot to say in the videos that JP has done and put out, if you listen and pay attention. He laughed at her. He put her down. Tried to make her feel like she was stupid. That's not love. And it's easy to try to put out videos to manipulate people into believing you when the very person who could take up for herself is not here. Is she? Not only Robinson County, but Horry County failed her in so many ways. And it's sad how some people can't look at facts, videos, and see it. Yes, they did. And the biggest one that failed her is the one that was supposed to love her, and he didn't. When you sit there and put out stuff to make her look bad, who can't defend herself, only for your own self bullshit, I got a problem with that. I'm giving my opinion. And when I watch a video of him laughing at her, that's truth. That ain't assumption. That's not accusations. Look at the video, he's laughing at her. So tell me what part of that video is that I'm saying is not true. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Which you have yet to do. A case of what? Of opinions? A case of what? Of opinions? Facts that are on video? Really? Is he that desperate, Ree? Or are you? So if I say my opinion, what's wrong with that? If I state something that's in official documentation, what's wrong with that? If I state something JP said himself on video, what's wrong with that? It's his words, not mine. Make it make sense, which you have yet to do. What do you mean? You're so trivial. Why? For giving my opinion? For looking at what he's put out and his words? Wow. No, I gave my opinion on what I thought. I never said he did anything that unalived her. So if you're going to record stuff, don't manipulate it, darling. Because I also said, do I believe his hand did that to her? And I said, no. So maybe you need to get your shit straight. Well, congratulations. I accuse him of narcissistic abuse because that's what's on video. I never said that his hand took her life. You need to get your shit straight. I said this whole case screams foul play. Maybe you need to get your facts straight. So if that being the case, Ree, then where is everybody else that's saying the same shit? So is he just going to fill up the courtroom in Horry County to sue everybody? Good luck with that. I got video evidence to say, well, there's the proof. This is what he said. I gave my opinion. I have freedom of speech. Face what? Spit it out. Become a human being. Or a true person instead of some empty box. Jesus, God almighty, people need to fucking get a clue that one man wants to control everybody's opinion or observation? Really? Wow. You must be proud of yourself. That you gotta hide. Hide. For an opinion or observation. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Which you have yet to do. Oh, the law only works for the manipulator. The law only works for the dishonest. Is that how the law works? Make it make sense. So how is it that he can do and manipulate and put out videos of Micah to try to betray her for something she wasn't? You know what? I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with you. You're just a phony. You hide. That's all you do. You hide. Well, congratulations. Give up what? You're the one in my life, darling. Maybe you need to give up. Just saying. Give me a... Nana, you know, the thing that really gets me is people like JP. Wants to give up what? Being a DV survivor, taking up for a DV survivor that can't speak for herself? I spoke her words in her own video. But you have yet to answer why didn't he leave her alone? Why did he track her? Because he admitted it, remember? Then you go to JP and have fun with him. I'm going to stay on the DV survivor side. And that would be for true justice for Micah. No matter what the outcome is.
You want to be
Now I'm being threatened by a judge. And JP always wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's he going to send me, a cease and desist letter? Or do I need to make a trip to South fucking Carolina? And you have yet to make anything make sense. At all. All you are is a JP supporter. And that's it.
No proof.
So, you keep supporting, and I'll keep supporting. Justice for Micah. Period.
One difference, you have proof, you don't.
What do you mean you're the right person for what? Hold on. Hold on, Miss Holly. Because, see, you know, people like this like to, you know, what? Bully people? Is that what you do? Hold on. The law works for lawbreakers. That's how the law works? Coming from somebody that has no picture, why can't you just be the true you then? Oh, you trying to hide for what? What are you hiding? What are you hiding? Whether you're a man or woman, at least be man or woman enough to face somebody. I guess it'll be a trip to South fucking Kakalaki, won't it? Oh, you're the one that figures out where people live and gives out their information. That's who you are. Hi, Ree. How you doing, darling? Are you going to be right there beside JP if I show up in court in South Carolina?
Get over here.
Is that where you're going to be? Just saying. Let me give you a hug real quick. I'm being threatened. Yeah. So I may need to take a trip to South Kakalaki there, Dad.
Yeah.
And besides, what the fuck is he gonna take from me? Because see, if you do your homework right, you know I ain't got jack shit, right? Damn. Sucks to be him. No money. Oh, but he'll give me a cease and desist, and I better do that or I'll get sued. Right? Give me a damn break.
See you in the morning.
Okay, Dad, love you. That's right, Miss Holly. Maybe people need to open their eyes and stop being threatening and actually be a true human being and face people. I ain't hiding. Just saying. So hopefully, Ree, you have enough to give JP and his attorney, since y'all know how to find people. Yet you're the one that complains people found you. Wow. At least I stand up for what I believe in your face. I don't have to hide behind a fake account to do it. That's called sneaky, conniving, and I can't say human being because I don't know if you're male or female. See, you're so trivial. I will always be for the DV survivor and the ones who didn't. And I don't care if JP likes it or not. Oh, Lord, Michelle, you crack me up. You know, maybe. Okay, Ree. What's JP gonna win? I have no assets. Aww, gotta run, huh? Whatever, Ree. You have fun with that. And if you're a DV survivor, if you're Ree, you're a freaking disappointment. You truly are. You truly are. See how people like to threaten people? That's right, Iowa girl. True justice for Micah. No matter what form it comes in, true justice for Micah. Micah left JP for a reason. And maybe people need to understand that. And JP should have left her alone. So if that opinion hurts your fucking feel-bads, I don't care. Period. Exclamation point. Just saying. Well, I guess y'all be making a trip to South Kakalaki. Woo! I guess I better get my thumb drives ready, huh? Just saying. I'm not going to stop for true justice for Micah. I guess I'm in for an 8-hour drive. You know, it really irks me. Well, kind of. Maybe not. How people threaten others. Who are truly, I don't know what, given their freedom of speech, given their opinion. You know what would have been justice, Anita? For all them police reports that Micah put in, that JP got punished for every one of them. That would be true justice for Micah, now wouldn't it? Where was the police officers for her? For the trackers on her car that JP admitted to? And don't tell me it's because he loved her. And it's awful convenient that her tires were flattened on the day of court that she was supposed to appear at. That would be true justice for Micah, wouldn't it? Or an actual investigation. Oh, we found her car first. Not the victim. We go through her car first. Found a pew-pew case. We find 2 receipts. And an AI call, I believe. See, saying AI call is not accusing anybody personally. I believe it was an AI call. Especially when so many current residents there in Robeson County says there is no phone service there. From what I gathered, the dispatcher was new. Improper training. Didn't even ask her name. Improper training. Anybody that allegedly makes a 911 call to unalive themselves. Oh, why would you want to do that? Where is your family located? Is there a phone number you would like for me to call? What's going on that's led you to this point? I ain't had no training and I ain't that stupid. Just saying. But yet somebody leaves a scene with her stuff and then comes back? Why?
Like I got a tiger by the tail. I've got a tiger by the tail. It's plain to see.
So if anybody don't like my opinion, step out. Because I'm on Micah's side.
I'm losing weight.
And if Popos wasn't looking forward to doing TV shows and do proper investigations and release proper paperwork for FOIA requests instead of deny them. Hell. Okay. Now you want to talk about Robeson County. Here, let me show you how they're reporting it. I've got the PDF. Okay, so, let's see.
He stopped. Well, I stopped because you were speeding. The law is the law.
Let's see. How can they do two things at the same time? Oh, it was a clerical error. So, not only was the call made at 2:54, but didn't even dispatch nobody to go there till 3:03. Wow. Robeson County really cares about people, don't they? Anywho, moving on. So 3:03, Robeson County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched. Wow. Good for them. They did such a wonderful job. From 2:54 to 3:03 is how many minutes? Now, if they was leaving the police department, which is 9 minutes away, normal travel time, they would have been there before they got there. But anywho, 3:05, they contacted the superintendent. 3:20, deputies requested a phone ping. 3:31, deputies arrived. So, if they left the police department, why would it take over 30 minutes? Or just under 30 minutes from dispatch for a 911 call of a alleged unaliving, self-unaliving? Would it take so long for him to get there? Make it make sense. But anywho, moving on. 3:33, 2 minutes later. Sheriff's Office activated Aviation Department Air 3 dispatch to Lumberton Park. 3:42, telecommunicator contacted Verizon. Detectives with the air, little flight drone, arrives at the park. But if you have a 911 call, they're just going to do the speed limit? It's damn near 30 minutes from dispatch before they arrived. But anywho, 3:50, the drone arrived. 3:42, detectives located the black Honda that was registered to Micah. Looked inside the car and observed a black SIG pew-pew case in the passenger seat and a box of ammunition in the center console. At 3:45, detectives deployed the air. Okay, so if they didn't arrive to 3:50, how can they deploy it at 3:45? Make that make sense. Their report, not mine. I'm reading it. Detectives were approached by an individual who stated he had found a bag while fishing. So, was that at $345 or $350? So which time did the fisherman come back with her belongings after leaving the park? Make it make sense. I heard a crying while fishing and then a pew-pew, the individual stated. He went further into the slough where he located a bag 2 feet from the water's edge. But at 4:23, let me see here. An individual contacted Robinson County via 911 and advised he had located a person in the water. The individual had been fishing by kayak when he located her in the water. Now make this make sense. I'm going to call 911, but I also talked to a sheriff. So if you spoke to a sheriff on scene, why would you call 911? I haven't seen proof that it was or was not in her name. I heard it was her roommate's car. I heard that it was her car, so I'm not sure. We haven't heard anything from the kayaker himself, which is the one that reported finding her. But yet, the other fishermen can state that the person that found her said, oh, well, you went right by her. And people that has got into a boat and went into that slough, come on. Make it make sense. And nobody is yet to make sense of the fact that somebody can allegedly unalive themselves and walk 100 feet and wedge themselves. So why did he call 911 when the sheriff was already there? He spoke to him. Make it make sense. How can one be in the slough and the other one not see the other one in the slough? But yet, one of them can state that his friend said that he told him about what happened at 127. There's not that much current to make her float and wedge her. That's already been proven. Just saying. Nobody can walk 100 foot after that. From the pew-pew. In water. And wedge themselves. Face down. There wasn't enough current to move a person that far. Because see, if the one fisherman went in, like right after the pew-pew, she would have been floating. He would have seen her. Wouldn't he? You would think. No, it don't sound right. And nobody can make sense of any of it. How did they know that was her car before they found her and got her personal belongings? Out of another witness's mouth, that park was full that day. What'd they do? Run everybody's tag in the parking lot? Just saying. Let me see. Okay. From 254 to 342, they found her car. They didn't get there till 3:33. So 3:33, no, 3:31. So within just a few short moments, they decided they found her car. Well, they gonna run everybody's tags? So from 3:31 to 3:42, they found her car. I thought they went there looking for a person, not running tags to a car. And I don't. I don't know, Sonia. I'm over 4 hours away from there. I haven't been there. So I don't know what church group was there. So I guess they just go and just run everybody's tag with no name given to even what car they're looking for. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard that. Thank you. So what gives people a right to have a fake-ass account, to get on here and threaten people who give their opinion of the facts? Who's desperate enough to do that? Because, see, I'm true justice for Micah. And I think and feel that every complaint that Micah put out that was illegal, that he's to serve time for. Because he self-admitted he did it. And to get on in front of camera to state she wasn't taking her medicine and she really needed her medicine, blah, 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 blah. I was trying to save her life. Bullshit. He needs to be punished for every complaint that he admitted to. That's number one. Because I truly believe he was tracking her the day she died. That's how he knew too many details before he actually heard it from authorities. But I can go preach 2 sermons like nothing ever happened. No, true justice would also be JP being punished for what he did to Micah. That's been proved through police reports. But see, people like JP thinks they can get away with everything. And I know what that feels like. See, Mike ain't here to talk for herself. And when I sit there and look at all of this, his own words, he told on himself. The videos he put out bashing her, making fun of her. I never once said that his hand unalived her. Did I? But the way that investigation went, or the lack thereof, and the alleged medical examiner, why didn't they go where the phone pinged? It was too much work. Because I bet you there would have been a lot of evidence there. For every complaint that Micah put in through Horry County, he should pay the price for it. That's justice. Let's start there. That's already been proven. He admitted it. Oh yeah, you're right, Miss Holly. Horry County and Robinson County failed her. How many people put in FOIA requests in Robinson County and they have yet, by law, sent it? What kind of investigation with a little air drone that you don't have evidence of what you did? And just so happened, the cameras at the park wasn't working. How convenient. They denied their request. Period. Robinson County denied FOIA request. Period. Because somebody read their denial letter to me back in May. Oh, and there was no pictures from the drone. Well, what an investigator you are. Because I tell you, when the police officers and the detectives came into my house, honey, they left no stone unturned. And it wasn't because of a system failure. They denied it. Because, see, another letter was written with respect that by law they are to give a FOIA request. That's public information. You know, when law enforcement screws up, people need to stop taking up for that. Because, see, I know firsthand what an investigation is. I watched it in my home. I can prove that too. And I do have to say that the police officers and the detective were phenomenal. There was an autopsy. There was a toxicology. There was ballistics reports. There were gunpowder swabs. Phones were confiscated. And other items from the home. I lived without my phone for over 2 weeks. And not only that, Anita, one of the screenshots they took of her phone. How can Southport, North Carolina be on that phone when she was up north in Lumberton? Or head in that vicinity? Now make it make sense. She was at Lumberton State Park. She went through Mullins, South Carolina, to that vicinity. Technicality. So, how can her phone have Southport, North Carolina on it when she didn't go there? And I know somebody with an iPhone who tried to duplicate that and couldn't do it. And when you do a search, you have to be close to the vicinity for Lumberton State Park to come up first. Yeah, it's over an hour and 30 minutes away from the park. Technical. Close enough. She was in Lumberton State Park, Robeson County. Still up north. See, people want to get technical on people. See, that's what gets me. And I'm going to find it. Because I know it's here, damn it. How can she have Southport, North Carolina on her phone? When you Google... Let me get rid of this fucking J screen. He makes me sick anyway. Just saying. You have to be close to a vicinity to get state parks near me. So she didn't do that from the pawn shop. That's technical. She was in the vicinity. Don't get stuck on that now. Then why does the map say Lumberton River? Just saying. Lumberton River. Oh my God. There's where she pinged. But she was found down here? Really? Come on now. So if you're close to a vicinity to get Lumberton River State Park is near her, then where was she when she looked it up? How many parks are between Myrtle Beach and Lumberton River State Park? Because it sure as hell ain't gonna be the first choice. Right? See, you don't make that make sense. Make it make sense. So, whether you want to be technical about Lumberton River State Park, still have yet to give a logical explanation to why Victoria said it's not Lumberton River. What does that say? Lumberton River. Lumberton River State Park. National parks near me. Lumber. See, y'all don't want to make sense of true shit. Why is this park coming up on her phone if she ain't close to it? Lumber River State Park. Excuse me. Oh my God. I have never seen such pettiness in my fucking life. Petty. But you can't answer a question. I said Lumberton. I put a T-O-N on it. God, sue me. Holy shit. See, that's petty. Have you tried to answer any of the questions I had? No, because you can't. See, this is what gets me with people. Here, let me point out this because you said ton at the end of lumber. If she wasn't close to the damn park, how can it come up first? I've asked this question for 5 minutes ago. Nobody wants to answer it or make sense of it. Jesus fucking Lord. Make sense of it. Not that I put ton at the end of lumber. See, this is what gets me. I'm just going to point out she's misspeaking it. Lumber River State Park. Lumber River. Makes sense of her phone having Southport, North Carolina. I just showed you on the map what I was referring to. I'm sorry if that visual is not enough. If she's not close to the damn park, it would not come up, that park. Nor would her phone ping in Southport, North Carolina. So make it make sense. And I guess the Popo didn't give a shit about that either. Just saying. Oh. I wonder I couldn't find it. Excuses, excuses. Excuses, excuses. Okay, make sense of that. That is not there. Mullins, South Carolina is not there. The park is not there. So how can she be in Southport an hour and a half south? But yet she's got a Google search for the park. Make it make sense. And I've said that how many times now, for 10 minutes now, and nobody wants to make sense of that. They just want to correct grammar. God bless. Then give excuses. Oh, they got hacked. They didn't get hacked enough to not do their fucking TV show, did they? Just saying. Make it make sense. What, they can't make a phone call? They had the screenshot. This is their report. Southport is an hour and a half south, east of Myrtle Beach. Over an hour. So she would have to leave the pawn shop and go an hour and something to Southport. And then another hour and a half to the park. But have to go around that to Mullins to be on camera at the gas station. Make it make sense. She didn't have enough time. Did she? Ladder? What do you mean, ladder? She didn't go from Myrtle Beach to Southport, darling. She didn't have enough time. Well, if they were hacked, how could they do anything with their system? What'd they do? Delete all their files? Micah could not have been in Southport going to Mullins and then over to the park. Southport, Myrtle Beach, Mullins, park. Well, the hacking part was not a reason for the denial of the FOIA request. They were told we didn't have no pictures on the drone. What kind of investigation is that? I guess they don't like covering their ass, right? Oh, we just did it to look. Well, somebody that uses those type of drones, they automatically save. They failed her. Horry County failed her. Her supposed husband failed her. There you go. So she had to be close to Lumber River State Park when she looked it up, allegedly. And if she wasn't in Southport and both of those screenshots came off the phone that was found, damn. Why didn't they do ballistics report? Oh, we have no answer for that. It's because they got hacked. You don't need a computer to do a ballistics report, darling. That's done in a lab under a microscope. What makes you think that, Victoria? There you go. I truly believe, in my opinion, she was allegedly blackmailed to go there. Because even her family said that she bought a pew-pew for protection. And also told to other people she knew that if she ever ended up with a hole, it wasn't her. I believe Micah. All right, Sarah, have a good night, sweetheart. Because nobody can make no sense of it. And this is evidence from Robinson County. Robinson, whatever. Wow. Good job. That they can't see the inconsistency by their own PDF form? Come on. Still, no reason to not do a ballistics report. None. Why didn't you do a ballistics report? And match the empty shell casings to her box. Her pew-pew. No note of that. Good job, Robinson County. Good way to dot those T's and cross those I's, right? A little backwards, huh? So if somebody gives their opinion for the lack of job that they did, and I've showed it, well, allegedly, well, according to JP's word, he requested an autopsy, but they said it wasn't necessary. Well, you know what? They did an autopsy on my late husband, and they knew what got him. A GSW to the torso. Why would an autopsy be required, right? They still did one. And a full toxicology and ballistics report. Gunpowder residue, the whole nine. You know, cross the T's and dot the I's. People don't want to hear that. Sorry, not sorry. It's inconsistent. And besides, if you have a computer, you look on a map. Well, damn, how can she be in Southport and then up here at a park? And that be on her phone. Just saying. But she went to the bigger one because they've already released the address in which one she went to. The pawn store. So why do people with fake accounts, when they come in here, threaten me for giving a true observation of the lack of investigation, the lack of protection for Micah? And for the videos that's been put out by JP himself to bash her, to make fun of her, to laugh at her. A fake ass person can't come in here and face nobody. You gotta be fake and hide. Hopefully. That's okay. I'll download it live. I got screenshots of the comments, the threats. So, if I have to take that 8-hour trip to go to court, I will countersue for travel expenses, hotel expenses, and wasting my fucking time over shit that he has said himself. And you know what's funny, y'all? For a person with no picture, what I call a fake account, who can't face people, then they must not truly believe what they say. Because they can't be a human being to say, hey, look, JP will sue you. JP will send you a cease and desist letter. Send it. I'll frame it. And then I will print out the words, true justice for Micah, and tape across the motherfucker. Don't think I won't. So if you can't come in here as a real human being that say you know law, you can't even form a sentence correctly, because anybody that's going to be true to it, they'll face you, not threaten you. Because the way that the words were put, that he will never lose. What does that tell you? What does those words tell people? He will never lose. that means he's got people in his pocket. That's what they're indicating. That they want to try to take the freedom of speech from people who sees his videos admitting to tracking her, admitting to putting a bad picture on the internet of her, showing up where she was having a tire repaired to start shit in front of a cop, no less. By his own word alone, he stalked her. Now, what part of that ain't narcissistic behavior? To have control. All you have to do is listen to JP in his own words, and it'll tell you a lot. And if you listen to Micah and the last few videos she did before she died, that'll tell you a lot too. And it's sad. Truly sad. Because see, don't y'all remember? JP tried to get Micah for destroying his name on the internet with those videos that she never even said his name. Keep that in mind. Why would he do that if she never mentioned his name? Because that video and the one where she said it's my cross to bear says a whole lot of what she had to endure. And believe me, if you're a DV fucking survivor, you get it. You see it. Because you lived it. And that an abuser will manipulate every angle to make the other person look bad. And like I've said before, and I'll say it to the mountaintops, I'll say it in a South Carolina courtroom, I believe Micah. And it's about time the judicial system and the police officers catch the fuck up. Because justice needs to be served in one way, shape, or form. And maybe that little fake account person maybe needs to go after the woman that yelled out "Schmurderer." Now that is a direct, not an opinion, not an alleged, direct. But yet some fake ass person that don't want to face nobody, that means they're not true to any honesty. That can't make sense of anything that I have said that is on legal documentation. Not hearsay. Legal documentation. And it's sad. So I will download this live. I, for the life of me, don't understand how somebody can see everything that's out there and say the stuff that they've said. Make it make sense. When somebody holds that much compassion and believes a person that lived through DV to leave, to file for divorce with an attached protective order, but yet she's crazy. Nina Mae, you know, sometimes maybe people need to understand that when you go in and threaten people for shit, that's on black and white, that's on video. What does that say for people? What does that tell a person living through it now? Does that say that, hey, I have any hope that I'll get justice? That I'll be safe? Just by looking at Micah's case alone, with everything that transpired before she died, where is the justice at? You know, when people say money can buy anything, all money buys is evil. And I truly believe Micah will have a hand in what happens. Micah hasn't said her last words yet, because she's got too many supporters out here to do it for her. So her word will remain, whether people like it or not. Yeah. And that's what people like that big account that comes in wants to do. They want to protect people who do bad things to people or sues them. What are you going to do? Make me live in a cardboard box? Jonah Mackay. Nina Mae, come here. Nina. The cat goes in there, he has a fit. Maybe we need to have more people stand up for victims and survivors instead of for the perpetrators. That's right, Stacy. And I'll never stop wanting justice for Micah. It matter what form it comes in, as long as there's justice for Micah and her family. And to make it where anybody can step forward to get the proper help, aid that they need to get away from an abuser and truly protected instead of thrown under the fucking bus. And maybe people need to understand that the emotions that comes from people like us and in here comes from experience, comes from living it and wanting better for people to where we didn't have it, for more people to speak up and get people to actually do something. And when justice comes, Micah's name will be all over it. And when it does, her death wasn't in vain. People don't understand. What us DB survivors have to do to get to where we've got. To want to walk forward. To help others walk forward. Because we want to give people what we didn't have. And that includes Micah, who can't speak for herself. Whether win or lose, I'll enjoy that 8-hour trip. I may need bail money, Harry. It'll be worth every fucking bit of it. Because I am sick of abusers scaring people and making them victims when the abuser should be the one going to jail with stiffer laws, stiffer time, more protection for kids and women and men. Me and Just a Girl Next Door has worked so much and stayed up for so many hours looking into Micah Francis' case. And it breaks our heart, along with y'all's, of what happened to her, what she had to live through, and all the videos and all the bashing that's come out. It's not right. And anybody who looks into everything that we've looked into and don't get emotional, and don't feel like you knew her because of her wonderful personality, the words that came out of her mouth in her videos, the want for abuse to stop, and the will to take the burden so friends and family wouldn't have to. That's one strong-ass woman. Sorry, y'all. People need to truly get it. But no matter what that fake-ass person said, I'm not going to stop. it's always going to be true justice for Micah. In any form that our higher power and Micah deem necessary. And time will bring it.